This is the Alabama Orthopedic Clinic D1 Training High School Football Preview Show.
Another year of high school football here on UTV 44. Jim Cox and Dan Brennan. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to be back.
Have not seen each other since the last game last year at the end of the season.
Bosom buddies.
So we are glad to be back here, and of course starting off the year with the biggest game on the docket here tonight, as we've got McGill taking on Spanish Fort over in Spanish Fort, and really just what a great way to set the table for the 2019 high school football season.
Yeah, it's almost like dessert before dinner, because I don't know, with all the great games we're going to have this year, and there'll be plenty, is anything going to be better than McGill and Spanish Fort? This one's tough to top. You've got 4 state titles in the short history of Spanish Fort. McGill Toolen with a state title just a couple of years ago, so they're at the top of 7A and 6A respectively. A lot of good players. A lot of players coached very well.
And you always hear it with these top programs, like, oh yeah, but they lost this many players on defense, this many players on offense. It just does. It's a program. It's not. These aren't one-hit wonders. I mean, they have talent up and down the roster, and they also have kids that are just used to and expect to win every Friday night.
Oh, we see that a lot too. We see these teams win games, and sometimes walking out of the press box thinking, now how did that happen again? But a McGill is going to win those games, and a Spanish Fort obviously is going to win those games too. And we're just really glad not just to be getting ready for this game, but to do it here at D1 Sports.
Yeah, we're excited to be here. Our 3rd year doing our pregame show here at D1 Sports, and we've got Rich Myers, the general manager, with us, and Brian Elmore, the head strength coach. One of my former jobs. Head strength. Kidding. Now, why are you laughing so hard? I'm not sure why we're laughing. I mean, so we've been doing this 3 years, but I mean, Rich, I mean, what the growth of what has taken place here at this building, the athletes that have come through. I mean, y'all have to be just super excited what's taken place here.
Yeah, I mean, within our first year, I mean, it's been incredible. I mean, we've had almost 46 million in signees for pro athletes in our first year, which is unheard of. So it's been really exciting.
Boy, those are some emails you don't want to lose.
No.
And talk about some of the training you do for these players as they, for instance, these guys getting ready for a football season, in season, before season.
Yeah, I mean, in season, we really kind of look at protecting the athlete first as part of Alabama Orthopedics. You know, we do, athlete safety comes first. Then we go into movement prep. Strength is our 3rd big staple. And we build everything off of a continuing 6 to 8 week program. So it's a pillar, it's a system that we built, and it works, and we just keep pushing through it.
And I would guess, Brian, the focus is probably going to change for the athletes now that, I mean, there's been so much leading up to the season, leading up to the games, and the intensity is going to go up, but I would guess the training regimen probably changes a bit during the season?
Yeah, and, you know, first and foremost, I think, you know, you don't want to get it mistaken that the intensity that we bring, the passion, the juice that we call it, that we bring when we step foot in the weight room, it does not change when we go in season. But the focus does shift more towards the maintenance of that machine that we built in the off season during those, you know, the hot summer days. But maybe we do that, you know, by taking some reps off each set. Maybe kind of eliminate that soreness, because we want our guys to be fresh.
And also, though, I mean, we don't want to let everybody think that it's just for elite athletes, or this is for anyone who just wants to be physically fit, feel as best they can, recovering from an injury, anything, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've got adults coming in off of adult athletes coming in off ACL injuries, hip replacements, and, you know, just building the best athlete we can. And I mean, it's fun. We do it all day long.
Yeah, and I know we've all talked about this. And you said, like back on the high school athlete side of things, especially in football. I mean, Mobile, it's a special place for high school football players. I mean, you look at who gets drafted, where they go. Like, this is a place like no other right now.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt. A lot of talent down here.
Yeah, you're a big part of it.
We're dealing with prized athletes down to the people just trying to get better, you know, recovering from an injury. So,
Pros and Joes.
Yeah,
so
D1 Sports.
Yeah, we're so excited to be here again. Rich and Brian, thanks for joining us. Excited as we get ready to look for our big matchup here tonight. Spanish Fort playing host to McGill Toolen. We'll come back. We'll hear from Ernest Hill, the head coach of McGill Toolen. He joins us right after this. Jim Cox and Dan Brennan back here as we get ready for our first matchup of the 2019 season. We were trying to do math, which really, it's why we both do what we do. But so we started in 2000. This is 2019. That'd be 20 years, right?
Yeah. What would you ask me?
Yeah.
I think it's 20. I'm not sure we do what we do that well.
Yeah,
so don't steer into math and
20 years.
And
we're
science.
saying 20 years we've been doing this on Friday nights. And,
I'm good with that.
We're back for another one. Jordan Drake, wide receiver for the Yellow Jackets here. Head coach Ernest Hill with us here. And Ernest talks about the highlights of his career. And this is always, he always brings this up to being able to come talk with us on the pregame show. Coach, good to have you back here. Good to see you. And I know this matchup is one that both coaches really love to get because it's a game that's going to pay dividends, not just week 1 to week 2, but all throughout the year and then even into the playoffs.
Yes, sir. Anytime you're playing a team like Spanish Fort, they're coached very well. They got plenty of players on there. It's always going to be a challenge for us.
Thank you for your time the other day. I came by McGill to visit Coach Hill. 2 things I took away from that visit was that you like your team. You like your team's athleticism and speed. And also, you really do like your staff, too. Mm-hmm. And you feel like your staff does a really good job of getting the most out of the guys you have.
We do. I do like my team. Ask me that after the game Friday. They have worked very hard, since the spring, summer, and fall camp. So I'm very proud of them that. And, my staff, I got 5 new coaches that I brought in. They're doing a great job with the kids. They get along with the kids, get along with the other coaching staff. And
that's a lot of change, Coach. That's a lot of change.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say we needed it, but, it's working right now. I'll just say that. So,
sure.
I'm very happy with it.
One thing I heard you talk about this offseason is so you went 9-3 last year, lost in the second round of the playoffs. A great year for a lot of schools, but you've really put it on your seniors this year, saying that leadership is going to carry us very far if we have a chance to go very far. You really put a lot of it on those seniors coming into this year.
I did. I love that senior class from last year, but they are, they know they underachieve, and I told this upcoming senior class I just don't want the same for them, and they saw what those guys did. They just thought they was going to show up and play McGill Toolen, and everybody was just going to bow down to them, and it wasn't that way. And I just don't want this particular senior class to do the same thing.
Yeah, and every year is different. I know certainly injuries played a part of your season last year as well. Anytime you lose a quarterback injury, that certainly doesn't help. Jordan Drake is with us here, one of the wide receivers. We were just talking about there's been no shortage of great wide receivers rolling through McGill here over the past several years, right?
No, sir.
Talk about what you're expecting this year as you get ready for not only the matchup against the Toros tonight, but leading throughout the entire 29 campaign.
I feel like as long as we play our brand of football, the O-line protecting how they've been protecting these past few weeks in practice, the defense do what they always do, I think we'll be good this year.
McGill has been known to throw the ball if they feel like they've got receivers who can get open and create some mismatches. And it's not just you out there. I know you've got some guys that split out wide that can really run.
Is there?
Talk about some of those guys.
Jordan Mosley, one of the fastest guys I've ever seen, big, physical. Dallas is really smart. Kendall, fast, athletic. I think us 4 together, we play together like we know how to. We'll be pretty good.
Looking at the other side of the football, Coach, defense, something else we've seen very stingy McGill defenses over the years, and I think, and I'm sure Ben will say it too, he's like, and all the coaches seem to tell us, it's like they're always in the right spot. They never beat themselves on defense. I mean, you really have kids who seem to really they buy into that assignment football, and really, we've seen that just for a long time at McGill, and nothing has changed, certainly since you've come over there and become the head coach.
Well, one thing, those guys, they're not selfish, and, they love one another, and they come from great homes, and mom and dad raised them right, and, we ask them to do something, and they do it, and I have fun doing it. So we're expecting the same thing this year. We did lose a lot of guys last year, but, our motto is next man up.
It's funny, too, because years ago we did a playoff game in Prattville, Alabama. I was talking to Coach about this. McGill against Prattville, and one guy was just tearing everybody alive, and it was Alex Page from Prattville. Went on to South Alabama, had a great career there for kind of an undersized defensive lineman. And, of course, He's your guy. He's your defensive coordinator. He's been your guy from the start, right?
Yes. Alex is very smart, and he's a technician. And Alex just wins everywhere. You know, he won in high school, won 3 state championships in high school, went to South Alabama and, you know, All-American there. And he wasn't the biggest guy, and, you know, we don't have the biggest guys at McGill Toolen, but he teaches those guys the right way, and they're always going to be in the right place. You know, like I say, he's a technician.
You know, your history, of course, goes back with Coach Blackman. You spent some time at Spanish Fort. You've known him a long time. You've seen film, knows what he likes to do. You know what he likes to do on offense. But you know, it just evolves so much every year. I mean, it's you know the chess match is going to be it's going to be full on when we kick this thing off.
Well, anytime I play, you know, Spanish Fort, you know, I compete against Ben, I never know what to expect because he's going to give something new all the time. So it's all the time I'm waiting. Guys, be patient. He's got something on his sleeve. He got something on his sleeve, and but you know he does a great job with those guys, and I know nothing else is going to be the same thing this year.
What just looking at all season long goals for the Yellow Jackets that y'all have coming into these? I know it's always a lofty goal to start off the season, right?
Yes, sir. As a senior class, we got together and we decided that we wanted to focus on, first of all, winning every game we play, winning the region, and then hopefully going after the blue map.
We'd love to see you back there challenging. Again, great year, great to meet you. We'll see you out there tonight, Coach. We'll see you back here in the next segment. We'll come back. We'll talk with Ben Blackman, head coach of the Toros, and get his take on tonight's matchup, Spanish Fort and McGill Toolen, live right here on UTV 44. Just about 15 minutes from kickoff here as we open up the season in Spanish Fort. The Toros playing host to McGill Toolen. Head coach Ben Blackman here with us, and we've got Brady Wilson, offensive lineman, here with us as well as we get ready for the matchup. 5th year as the head coach at Spanish Fort, and we were talking about it with Ernest there a little bit, Coach. And I know this is going up a class, playing McGill Toolen, perennial 7A powerhouse. You've said since you've been doing it, this is we've got to do this. We've got to play great competition right out of the gate to find out exactly where we're at.
Yeah, and that's kind of the goal. Is we hope that we want to compete at a high level in our program, and we know that we're not going to get there unless we play great opponents. And McGill is a great coach team. They're always disciplined. They're always play hard, and Coach Hill, I mean, man, he does a great job. He's one of the best in the state. So why not toe it up and see what you look like early on, see what you got to fix.
You ain't scared.
No.
He wasn't born scared. I know that. He wasn't raised scared. I met his dad years ago at Lad Peoples Stadium. And I said to his mother, "You've spent a lot of time sitting in bleachers." She says, "You got that right." But when we talk about your team, last year's team, devastating injury to the quarterback, and yet in the midst of all of that, your team won 11 straight games.
Yeah.
An amazing season when you reflect on it now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, our kids are resilient. I mean, they come to work every day. They try to get better, and their mentality is next man up. And so we've dealt with injuries through Spanish Fort since I've been there. 1 year we had 5 different quarterbacks through the injuries.
Yeah, we remember.
And so that's just a testament to the type of kids that we have in our program, that they're going to fight and claw with everything they got, to win the game. And that's not going to be any different. I mean, our kids are going to compete. That's part of our core value system. And Brady can tell you that. We compete every day at practice.
And Brady, I'm guessing you're ready to compete against someone else, though. Like you're ready to go against a different colored jersey, right?
I looked at Brady in the parking lot. I thought, this guy's wearing his shoulder pads to the show. And then I looked, no, he's not wearing his shoulder pads. But big, strong guy. And I know you've got senior year, so you look at this year probably a little bit differently than you did you've been starting 3 years now. Talk about what your expectations are, maybe what your role is with a team like this.
Well, the past few years I've been more like sort of quiet. I've started since my sophomore year, but I wasn't as a vocal leader. My junior year I stepped up a little more, but we still let the seniors coach up because it's their year, they need to coach their team. But now it's my team. And it's my senior year, it's my last year, And now that since it's my senior year, just go out there, show out, give it a heck every practice, work your butt off.
And to have a 3-year starter on the offensive line, that does a lot on the offensive side of the ball, right?
Absolutely. Brady's one of the best linemen we've ever had come through our program, and we knew he was going to be special when he was in the ninth grade. And from the first game he ever started, 3 years ago to now, he's our leader on the offensive line. He's our heart and soul, and we have a lot of confidence in him.
Tell me this as a play caller, a guy who loves offense. So what does a coach do year to year to keep being innovative, learning new ideas? Is it just watching games, going to clinics? Like what is a guy who loves the kind of the mad scientist part of it a little bit?
Well, I mean, I think in any profession you're in, if you stop learning, you stop growing. And so. You never can get complacent in any facet of the job, and so getting complacent in the game's always changing. You still block and tackle, but there's different ways that people are getting to scheme, and you got to keep up and learn what the defense is trying to do to take stuff away from you, and then how to affect that. And so just trying to stay ahead of the curve in multi-facets of the program, not just offensively.
Yeah, and we talk so much about the offense, but like in October last year, they didn't give up a point in the month of October. I mean, there's but that's also the kids at Spanish Fort, like they really pride themselves on that side of the football too.
Absolutely, our defense is, we're having to replace a lot on defense, but we have the same expectations. We're going to play hard, tough nose. We're going to try to stop the run and play good, sound, physical defense. And Coach Stonecker does a great job of that.
Ready to talk about your plans after high school? I know that a big, strong, good-looking player like you is going to get recruited and get a lot of notice from the colleges. And have you made a decision now?
Right now, I'm committed to UAB. I committed back in January, and after going to the program and all that, looking at the campus and having a good talk with the coaches, I felt like that was a great place for me to go.
It's a good little connection between UAB and Spanish Fort right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've known Coach Clark a long time too.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Clark's doing a great job. Coach Vincent, the roots down here in Spanish Fort, they're real strong ties. They've done a good job coming in and recruiting Mobile, Baldwin County. They've got several of our kids, and Tyler Johnson will be their starting quarterback this year, and that's redshirt sophomore.
Great story.
And what's that thing he always? A win. That's what he does.
Win.
Yeah,
he just wins.
That's what he. That's what
all
he does.
he did.
Yeah,
That's right.
Exactly. All right, Coach. Good to see you. Stick around. We got our final segment here. Brady, good to see you. Be safe out there tonight, and there won't be any holding calls. We won't talk about that at all. Coming up, we'll get you ready for kickoff. We got about 10 minutes to go. We'll have both coaches here, and we'll answer some fun questions to kick off the 2019 high school football season right here on UTV 44. Straight Fridays. We'll be busy. Y'all will be busy more than 11 Fridays. They'll have playoffs, but another year we can't do playoff games live in the state of Alabama. So we'll just talk about our 11 Fridays. We have. I see the smirk over there. So cool. Y'all got it. So Jim Cox.
He almost got winged by that bullet.
Dan Brennan, Coach Ben Blackman, Coach Ernest Hill, Spanish Fort, and McGill to open the season here tonight. We always wrap up our show with a little segment we call Bren in or Bren out. So you're either in or out on the questions. So we'll start with Dan Brennan here.
Sure.
Recently, a miniature horse was seen flying on a plane as a comfort animal. Getting the seat next to the horse on a plane. Dan Brennan, Bren in or Bren out?
I love equine science, and I would find that
You're so major.
I'm in. Yeah, I'm in.
In or out?
Yeah, horses don't bother me.
Oh, there you go. Sit next to a horse on a plane?
I'm out.
Bren out.
What if it does what,
I know.
We've all been to a Mardi Gras parade. What if that happens? Thank you, Coach. Speaking of horses and country music have long gone together. So Dan Brennan, are you in or out of taking your horse to the Old Town Road?
I like the song.
It got knocked after 19 weeks.
Yeah.
Got knocked off the chart this week.
I
Old Town
like
Road.
the song.
It was all right for a little while. It got played out a little bit.
So you probably heard a lot, Coach.
They played it way too much.
out on that. All right. A few weeks ago, speaking of planes, my wife and I took a seaplane from Seattle to Vancouver. getting on a small 10-seater plane that just flies over water the whole time? In or out?
Well, if it's got a pony on it, you know, because I'm fascinated by that. So if you have the pony,
weight limit would not work.
I would not seek out that experience.
Really?
No.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
It was the best part of the trip. It was great.
Yeah.
It was too great.
Watch the news.
More
Just wondering.
More
Sometimes
water. Two teens recently water skied 62 miles across Lake Michigan to Minnesota, Lake Michigan from Minnesota to Wisconsin. Water skiing. In or out?
I tried it, and I was just dirtying up the water, basically.
You're out.
I wasn't doing well.
I used to do it when I grew up in Montgomery at Lake Martin.
I can see you on it.
Absolutely.
Never done that one.
Yeah, I can't swim, so that's not good for me.
Wow.
All right, a new
But you fly in a seaplane
and spend a lot of time on the water.
You can't swim.
The swimming would be the least of my concerns if there's
A lot
an
of
issue
confidence in that pilot.
New brewery in Texas is coming out with a pickle-flavored beer.
Yeah.
So pickle-flavored anything, chips, peanuts,
Nope.
out.
No thanks.
Oh yeah, I like pickles.
Oh,
I'm out.
yeah, I'm out too. No thanks. So one of my new time wasters, and it wasn't really a list, I was lacking of things I needed more to do that. Sam the Cooking Guy, his YouTube channel. I love this guy. Watching cooking videos on YouTube, Dan Brown.
Out.
No, I'm out.
I'm in on that.
See, yeah,
Are
thanks,
you
Coach.
really?
I'm
Yes,
with
I
you.
do
I'm with you on that. All right, so Bears quarterback Mitch Trubisky turns 25 the day we were recording this. He was 24 last year, threw 24 touchdown passes. 25 this year. I say he's way over 25 TDs this
Yeah,
year.
I say he's way under.
Oh, you saw him? Well, you watched.
I saw that one game.
One game.
Yeah.
Trubisky more than 25 TDs. Yeah.
More.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I
See,
think
don't
so.
be a hater.
Come
Bears.
on.
I do. I think so.
Yeah, he's all in. All right, lastly, I had to buy new tires for my truck. Nothing I like. I get no joy out of spending money to upgrade things on a vehicle. You like does it get you excited to do?
No.
Yeah.
Not anymore. I used to.
Yeah, some people are like that. I'm not.
No thanks.
Yeah, of course you guys never have to buy tires. I have to buy tires. All right, high school football coming up. Ernest Hill, head coach of McGill Toolen. We've got Ben Blackman, head coach of the Toros. Dan Brennan, Jim Cox. We're headed to the press box. Kickoff comes up after this.